Have you ever been to a concert that didn't just entertain you but changed the way you felt, about music, about people, maybe even about life? A show where something bigger happened. Not just flashing lights and loud music, but a real, emotional moment that stayed with you long after the crowd went home. Well, that's exactly what happened during a recent Alice Cooper concert. And at the center of it all was Johnny Depp. Yeah, that Johnny Depp. The actor. The icon. The man we've all seen playing eccentric characters and stealing every scene in every movie. But this wasn't a movie. And he wasn't acting. This was real. And it might just be one of the most beautiful, heartfelt things he's ever done. Let's set the scene. Imagine it, a packed arena, buzzing with energy. People are screaming, dancing, totally in the moment. It's a full-throttle Alice Cooper show, dramatic, electric, theatrical, everything you'd expect. Guitars roaring, lights flashing, the whole place shaking with excitement. Then something shifts. You can feel it, even before you see it. The lights dim. The band slows down. The noise tapers off into a quiet hum of anticipation. People start looking around, sensing that something unexpected is about to happen. And that's when it happens. Out walks a figure, slowly, casually, like he's stepping into his own living room. At first, the crowd goes quiet. There's a second where no one's quite sure who it is. But as the spotlight hits him, there's this instant, collective realization, it's Johnny Depp. Now, Johnny isn't a stranger to the music world. He's been playing guitar longer than he's been on the big screen. In fact, most people don't know that music was his first passion. Acting just kind of happened along the way. But in that moment, when he stepped onto the stage, he wasn't an actor crashing a concert. He was exactly where he belonged. He looked around, soaking in the crowd, then stepped up to the mic. And from the first words out of his mouth, you could tell, this wasn't about attention. It wasn't about fame. It was personal. And it came straight from the heart. His voice was quiet. A little shaky. Not because he was nervous, but because he was emotional. He started talking about someone who's been a huge part of his life, not just as a fan, but as a friend, as a mentor, as a symbol of survival. That someone? Was Ozzy Osbourne. Now pause for a second and think about that. Ozzy. The wild man of rock. The Prince of Darkness. The guy known for biting the head off a bat and screaming into microphones for decades. But also, a man who's lived through some of the darkest moments anyone could imagine, addiction, illness, recovery, relapse, media storms, health scares, and somehow, still keeps going. And Johnny knows that journey better than most. Because in his own way, he's lived it too. So when he looked out at the crowd and called Ozzy a living miracle, it wasn't just a nice thing to say. He meant it. He called him a warrior. A survivor. Someone who's fought his way through hell and kept going with nothing but raw grit, guitar strings, and sheer will. Then, he did something even more powerful. He picked up a guitar. Not a fancy new one. Not some rare collector's piece. But a Gibson Les Paul, simple, classic, and meaningful. It was the same model Ozzy used to love during his Black Sabbath days. That alone was a message. A quiet one, maybe. But clear as day to those who understood it. And then he played. No words. No explanation. Just music. Pure, emotional, honest music. And he didn't play to impress anyone. He wasn't trying to show off or steal the spotlight. The notes he played were slow, thoughtful, like a love letter in sound. Every chord carried something. A memory. A story. A thank you. A goodbye and a welcome back at the same time. As the music flowed, something incredible happened. Ozzy appeared. He came out from backstage, slowly, with that unmistakable look in his eyes, the one that says, "What is happening right now?" He wasn't in full rock star mode. No dramatic entrance. Just a man watching something deeply personal unfold. Their eyes met. Johnny, still playing. Ozzy, just standing there, taking it all in. And for a moment, the whole world seemed to stop. No one was talking. No phones up. Just thousands of people, completely silent, watching this exchange between two icons, two men who had survived so much, still standing, still here. Johnny finished the song. The last note hung in the air like a whisper. Then he looked at Ozzy and said, "This man taught me what surviving looks like. And what loyalty really means." And then, with the same soft, calm voice, he said 7 words that sent a wave of chills across the entire venue. "For the Godfather of us all." Boom. It was simple. It was short. But it was everything. The audience erupted. Cheers, claps, even tears. People felt that. You didn't have to be a fan of rock music to understand what that moment meant. It was about friendship. Respect. Gratitude. Now here's something you may not know. This tribute wasn't planned for social media. It wasn't filmed for some streaming special. This wasn't PR. It was just a moment. A deeply personal moment between friends, and everyone there was lucky enough to witness it. Johnny and Ozzy have a long history. Both have been open about their struggles, with addiction, with the media, with personal demons. They've both been painted as villains at times. Misunderstood. Pushed to the edge. And yet, they've kept going. Ozzy, especially, has been through a tough few years. He's been battling Parkinson's. He's had several surgeries. There were months where fans genuinely thought he might never perform again. But that night? That night was proof that the fire's still burning. Maybe slower, maybe quieter, but it's still there. And Johnny's tribute wasn't just about looking back. It was also a message to the future. A reminder to the world, Ozzy's not done yet. And that moment between them, that quiet exchange on stage, said more than 1,000 interviews ever could. People always talk about legends like they're untouchable. Like they're not real people. But what happened on that stage was so human. So raw. It reminded everyone that behind every big name is a person, someone who struggled, cried, fought, lost, and loved. Someone who's grateful to still be here. And Johnny? He didn't take a bow. He didn't soak up the applause. He stepped back. He let Ozzy have the moment. That kind of humility, especially in the entertainment world, is rare. It's not about ego. It's about honoring those who came before you, those who inspired you, those who helped you survive. The rest of the concert went on, but something had shifted. People weren't just excited. They were connected. You could feel it. Music had done what it always does at its best, it had brought people together. Even hours after the show, people were still talking about it. Sharing clips. Calling their friends. Saying things like, "You won't believe what just happened tonight." And it wasn't just about the performance. It was the feeling. The emotion. The authenticity. That's what makes music powerful. That's what makes moments like this unforgettable. It's not the perfect notes. It's the broken ones. The vulnerable ones. The ones played with a shaky hand and a full heart. And that's what Johnny gave Ozzy. A tribute not just to his music, but to his soul. So let me ask you, have you ever witnessed a moment like that? Maybe it was at a concert. Maybe it was something someone said. A gesture. A song. Something small, but deeply human. Something that reminded you what really matters. If you have, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear about it. Because that's what this channel is all about, real moments. Honest emotions. The kind of stuff that stays with you long after the screen goes dark. And if this story touched you, even just a little, we've got more. Check out the video on Johnny Depp's emotional late-night performance that broke the internet. Same heart. Same depth. Same reminder that behind the fame, behind the chaos, there are real people trying to connect. And if you want to keep these moments coming, go ahead and hit like. Maybe subscribe. It helps more than you know. Because we're not just here to tell stories. We're here to remember what makes them matter. Thanks for watching. Keep your heart open. Keep the music playing. And never forget the power of one quiet moment between two legends on a loud, unforgettable night.